Suzuki Bandit 1250, common fault, the neutral light isn't working, so we turn it on. It's just not having it at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this front cover off, this side cover, sorry. And these are the tools that you're going to need to do it. Now, first of all, don't be tempted to use one of these to take these off, because these get full of shite and crud, and what happens is that these kind of flex when you're trying to take it off, and you'll probably end up rounding one of these off. So you can obviously trust a little bit of WD-40, but I tend to opt for like a shorter length Allen key, and these are 4mm. Okay, now you might get lucky, like you say, when you put that in, and it might like crack first time and it'll be okay. And behind there is the switch, like the sensor, which tells you when you're in neutral. So if you can, try and opt for a shorter, more sturdier Allen key. So I'm just going to pop this off, and then I'll show you what the switch looks like. Okay, so one thing that I should say as well is, to get them cracked off, I've used this, and then once they're moving, I'll move to the longer one, obviously to stay away from the engine, so I don't kind of crack the paint and all that. So what we want out, if we can see, is this. Okay, now there's two 4mm, so we're going to use the same thing. The best thing to do with that is batter it in WD-40 and leave it for 5 minutes, okay, which I've already done. So we can get a decent camera angle, and we'll go underneath like that. Like I say, I've already put WD on these, so they've come away quite quick, but you can see the amount of shit that builds up in there, to be honest. Let's just get that out of there. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of loosening both off, because I want it to come out easy, because on this switch behind there's like a rubber O-ring, and we don't want to damage that. So you need to try and keep that in as good a condition as possible. So let me just pull this off. Okay, so the screws are out. I'm just gonna pull that out of there. You can kind of see, hopefully, a little O-ring there. And what we want to be doing is spraying that with either contact cleaner or a carb cleaner, which is that. It's kind of the same thing, to be honest. We're just going to spray some on there, let it do its thing, and then we'll pop it back in, and we'll check if we've got a neutral light. I don't know whether you can see in there, there's like a mass build-up of crud and crap off the road, and it somehow gets behind there, and then you can't get a neutral light. So where's that? Okay, so this piece as well needs to relocate in the hole at the top, so we'll do that. Just push that back there. Okay, so I might as well leave this camera running now that we're here. And underneath, straight in, first time. Just hold that in place while I just start that off. So another tip as well is, when you're putting these in, don't just put one all the way in and tighten it in and then go to the other one, because obviously what's going to happen is that the O-ring is going to distort, that little rubber O-ring. So you want to try and get it started off, and try and do a couple of turns at a time, just so it kind of pushes back into the hole on its own. So let's just get that so it's getting tight like that. And then in theory, let's get that out the way. So that's in, that's done. So what we'll do now is we'll go and have a look and see if we've got a neutral light. So now, if we get the right gear, there's the neutral light. You can see that. Sorry about the filming, but there you go. So that's it, that's the fix. So it's relatively straightforward. You're just going to take that cover off. Like you say, when you take the cover off, undo them Allen bolts with this first, which is a 4mm Allen. Okay, and then once they're going, to stay away from the engine cover, move to the bigger one. Don't try and undo it with this one first, because they are quite tight and they get covered in all kinds of shite, and you just end up rounding it off. So start with that, take them out with that, spray that switch nuts with that, pull the switch out slowly, be careful of the O-ring, bit of switch cleaner or carb clean, it's kind of the same thing anyway, and you're golden. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe.